Well done, ladies and gentlemen. We are back to Challenger 1, and this time we are at Imola. Alongside to me is not Gamma B, but someone who qualified below him in the first race in Bahrain, and it's Mr. James Taylor.
Hey, how
How
you
you
doing?
doing? Yeah, well,
Good.
you didn't have the best of qualifying, but now you're here. You're prepared to help out the staff team, and of course, you have done some commentating before. A warm welcome to you.
Yeah, we're feeling good.
How do you
As
feel
we,
about Imola personally?
uh, I'm not a big fan, but yeah, I can find some pace around here.
Oh,
It's a really tricky track as well. There's a lot of hike, but yeah, gonna be a good qualifying.
it is gonna be a good qualifying, and right now we are on track, and we're currently on board with one shark who did get the win last time out. And if you just give me a quick second so I can close the door.
Yeah, sure. As we see, a lot of these drivers following each other pretty closely on the track. Don't know why.
Ah, sorry, just got back.
Yeah, I was just saying that they're following each other very closely on the track,
Yeah,
which
uh,
is our first lap now, 15.4.
not bad for a first banker. I believe that banker is enough to at least be in the top 10, I believe, in Challenger. But I think the qualifying between the top five is gonna get much closer as the time goes on. And yeah, like you said, they're running really close to each other.
Yeah,
Wonder why.
maybe slipstream bad out. So basically only one straight on this track, so it won't help.
Yeah, and the rest you will be affected with dirty air, so not really recommended, at least
Mm.
from mine and James' point of view. Uh, just to sort something quickly out. Oh well,
Oh,
second.
Dixie gets a 15.4, only 13 hundredths faster. But also I see Jan here doing what it looks like some race runs on the medium tire. Not really
Jan,
setting any laps line. Jan, yeah, Williams.
I mean, this might be his practice, just coming home and just putting
Maybe.
in some lap time together just to see how the track behaves. And maybe he's running higher fuel loads as well, just to see, to have that extra advantage to know how the car is going to behave when the race starts. Because obviously, you know as good as I do that whenever you do race, and there's a big difference between qualifying trimmed car and a race trimmed car.
Yeah.
Uh,
The weight difference is crazy.
yeah, and the balance shifts constantly as
Yeah,
well
yeah.
as he gets out of the way for the rest of the drivers on track. And currently, we are on board with one shark yet again, and I think he's gonna pit this lap. He's giving way to
Yeah,
some
he's
people.
not pushing though.
Yeah, but it's a 1:15.2 currently, so not too far off from the first fastest time we saw with No Fail. No Fail have a zero point 0.2 in the lead, and Resser, who was the runner-up for the race win last time out, is currently down in P13 and currently setting a lap.
It's looking pretty good as he gets on the curb there. Let's
Very
see this
confident on the throttle.
perfect
Miss.
chicane through there.
I would say he missed the exit a bit. You want to
I
mount
didn't
the
see the
curb a
exit
bit
very
more.
well.
Well done. He breaks in the 100-meter board, somewhere along that. Keeps
Final
it
corner now.
fourth gear. Okay, interesting. Keeps
Cross
a
the
close
line.
line. Let's see. P1,
Ooh.
1:14.8. Now there's
Wow.
been some slight talks about a few drivers needing a promotion to the upper tier. Do you think Resser might be one of them?
I definitely, yeah. He's shown his pace in different leagues and showing his pace in this league also,
Yeah.
and he's doing pretty well, as we've just seen from his lap.
Yeah. As of right now, it is the McLaren on pole, so You get used to some things. Swedish McLaren on pole, just wonderful things to see. But yeah, then we got two Mercedes following them. So yeah, it'd be interesting if Mercedes can work together because both are taking Sensei is nowhere up at the moment.
Mm. Yeah, he just invalidated his lap. He's
Yeah.
probably going to pit now for a new a new set of softs. Yeah.
So James, explain to me what kind of challenges drivers might face in the race, but not necessarily in qualifying.
It's really hard to be consistent around here with all the curbs. You one lap you can take one curb, next lap you can take the same curb. You won't feel right. And the tire wears, I think it's pretty okay around here, but we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a little spreadsheet to see how much tire wear and fuel consumption there is for every track. I've sent
Oh
it to
my.
only one person. But this track is highlighted as low tire wear and balanced
Yeah,
setup. Do you think you agree with that?
I agree with the tire wear. You also need a good balance of the setup on this track, of course. There's a lot of high speed and low speed corners down here. And what I would personally do is also get the ride height a bit higher to actually mount those curbs. Let's say like the first chicane and the last chicane as well.
Yeah, and for people who isn't aware of doing setups for an F1 car, it's basically a take and give situation because you might be better at one thing, but you are definitely gonna get slower in another thing. You can run with 50-50 wings, of course, but does that make you necessarily quick in the straights? Absolutely not. It will make you basically, as Shark once put it, as we spectate him currently, a mobile chicane, which is not great. You want to have a car that is as quick as possible in the corners and as quick as possible in the straights as well. You want that perfect balance with your car, and obviously to fit your driving style as well. And my driving style is a stable car. What is yours?
I love a stable car. As we see no fail pop into P2 in front of the both Mercedes.
Go on then.
And both Mercedes starting a lap now. Would be well, they would hope it's gonna be fast.
Yeah, no, ideally, I'd say you don't want to qualify in P1 around Imola, same as Russia.
Mm.
You want to be a bit further down, like P2 or P3. You get a good run into turn 1 with the slipstream. And of course, slipstream is the effect of the car in front of you punching a hole through the air and making your car less draggy if you stay behind them.
That's it's the big change to this game. I think the slipstream is much bigger. Has much of a bigger effect than on last year's game.
Yeah, but I gotta say though, like looking into esports, I really do look forward to that because what's it called? It brings out a lot more overtake opportunities. Sure, it might not be fun when you're the leading car, but it's definitely something to think about. When you look at all the previous years we had F1 esports, and it's just been not that great when it comes to racing, not a lot of overtakes and etc.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it might blow up.
Shark decides to not finish his lap and go into the box. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe invalidation.
Might be. Who do you think is the driver to look out for this race?
Well, Rezer's got a lot of pace. Also, Shark, I think he can, if he can get a good lap together, he can definitely be up there.
Yeah.
Lars, surprisingly, P3.
I mean, I'm
Did not
very
expect
happy to
him.
see that. He has been a driver to look out for. He still is, to be honest, because he punched in the fastest time for a Challenger. And matter if you can translate that to track is we have wait to see, as Bahrain wasn't the best. He got P10, 1 point for him.
Mm.
And talking about wasn't the best of races, Bahrain. Percy Gilly asked if you're gonna make out of Q1 tomorrow.
I hope so. I cannot make promises, but if I get a good balance and fix my brake issue, then I think I should be fine.
Rocco says, "Go on, Lars." Lars seems to have built himself a little bit of a cult or a fan base in Power F1. Everyone would love to see him try because he has had such bad luck in Power F1 in previous seasons and been the runner-up in constructors, I believe, and of course missing out on the championship by 2 positions or somewhere along that. And Resetsat's in the fastest time,
Wow.
1:14.5. That's
4/10 from Rohi in P2.
yeah.
What a lap.
What a lap indeed. Resser, the Swedish McLaren driver, on fire.
He definitely is.
I do enjoy seeing a Swedish on pole.
I would think you would enjoy that, yeah.
We got some of the people cheering for Dixie in the chat as well. Nice to see. So currently, as it stands right now, Resser is P1, Rohi is P2, and No Fail No Game is P3. So we got our McLaren, Ferrari, and a Red Bull on the top 3 at the moment. And then we got Aston, Mercedes, Aston, TC, Dixie, Shark, and TC Mustache. It's a big Aston Martin sandwich.
Chris Wiggle just popped up into P3.
Oh,
under
just
the
like
radar.
that. Under the
Yeah.
radar. With that
And
Alfa Romeo as well. It's a good looking car.
now everyone waiting in the pits for those final 3 minutes to go out as late as possible to get the most out of the tires. And anyone out on track right now?
We got a couple of drivers on track. We got Chris Wiggle, No Fail No Game. We have B-Roy, Thomas D, and Jan on track. And Jan currently in P15. Not the greatest of qualifying in the Williams at the moment. But I think I did see him complain about the traffic. Either that or it was Roham. Either Roham/Rohi, that is.
He's just, is it me or he's just starting a lap with only 30% ERS. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Yeah.
Jan.
Yeah.
We go on board with Jan. Jan is indeed on a hot lap with 16% ERS now. And he dipped the tire into the sand as well. And just making sure that his car is making out of the gravel, he went straight on and ran into one of the sponsors. Thankfully, we're not affiliated with Pirelli, so we don't get in any trouble or lose money budget on that, or budget money. Either way, No Fail, still in P2. I've talked highly about him before, and he seems to be pulling out all the stops at the moment. Lars retired.
Retired in the pit lane, I think.
It was a sector.
So does Rezer
in turn 1.
So does Rezer. He retires.
He doesn't think anyone can challenge him at the moment, which is fair enough. He's 2 tenths clear, but No Fail is he's looking menacing there in P2.
I think he just finished his lap, if I'm correct.
He's currently recharging, yeah, but he has one more run if he wants to do it. 1 minute left, and he seems to be charging ERS as well.
And also keep an eye out on both of the Mercedes.
Both of the Mercedes.
They have some pace.
Dixie and One Shark. Dixie returning into Mercedes after his 2-year hiatus from Power F1, returning now in the Mercedes car. Toto Wolff called, said, "Hey, we want you on board." And he's currently on board with Mercedes, and One Shark looks, of course, replacing the outgoing driver of Dinos, because Dinos left the server for whatever reason. But now, sorry.
Yeah, just Rohi's keeping it very late. He's got 1 minute left, and he's still on his outlap.
He's gonna make it easily. But we'll be on board One Shark's lap, and you go through the lap for me, please.
Sorry, who?
One Shark.
Oh, where is he?
Peace
Here,
out.
okay, DRS activated. Full speed into the first chicane. Misses the curbs. So depends on his setup, of course. Now let's see the fast left right-hander. Down to 4th gear, gets on the curb. Missed the apex by a bit there. Long left-hander here. Go on the power as fast as possible. Don't think he's improving on his lap. Blind left-hander here. As wide as possible. Think could have taken more speed through there. Now, tricky corner this. Up the hill. Nicely done that. To the final chicane on this track. Will you take the curbs? Yes, you will. Good exit through there. No one else improving as I can see. Final 2 corners coming up. Brakes. Hits the apex. Power down. Let's see his lap. DRS.
One Shark crosses the line and he goes P3. So he pushes Rohi and Chris Wiggle down. Chris Wiggle unable to improve. Rohi is out of qualifying as well. Invalidated lap time.
Oh.
So Dixie managed to improve as well. In the second Mercedes, Dixie managed to improve to P3. So we got a McLaren, Red Bull, and Mercedes. It's the exact same podium that we got in Hungary. Well, not in that order, but definitely that those teams.
It's barely anything in it between 2nd and 4th.
Yeah. I mean, except for Resser, it's a really tight qualifying.
That's true.
And Jan saying he's washed. No, you just need time and practice. That's all what it takes.
And that's everyone.
That's
our grid.
That is our grid. So I will be doing the grid before the menu pops up and the timer getting me all stressed. So Resser in P1 in the McLaren, no fail, no game in the Red Bull, debuting this season as well after taking a hiatus from the last 2 seasons. P3 goes to Dixie. One Shark goes P4 alongside him, so hopefully there will be no big crash between the 2 Merc boys. P5 goes to B-Roy, Rohi goes P6, Chris Wiggle goes P7, Lars and TC finishing off 8th and 9th. Thomas D goes P10, Magnatech P11. No Phil will have no support for him unless he can pull off a recovery. Cosmonaut goes P12. Bollard Tickling Sensei, not a good qualifying after an impressive performance in Bahrain. In the McLaren, P14 goes to Jan, and Unstoppable finishes off the grid in P15 in the Haas.
Rezer's alone out there. His teammate only P13.
Yeah. I mean, so is No Fail though, and I think the Mercedes have a good plan together now that they have qualified close to each other. They can upset the people in front of them by undercutting one car and overcutting another car. They can basically go different strategies and still be a menace to the cars ahead.
And they don't want to collide with each other.
No, definitely not. That's something you want to avoid, and of course, especially with your teammate as well. Have you had any experience with that?
Oh, not like a teammate, but I did take his seat after that race.
Oh right, so you had a little funny incident with Tixie. Tixie was upset. Tixie left the league. And then you got a call from the team principal of George himself. And George says, hey, mate, seat is available if you want to have it.
I was in Williams, so...
A natural promotion. Oh, 4 lights and 5 red lights as we go racing. And it's lights out, and away we go. And Resser gets a good start, and No Fail in the hearts going absolutely nowhere. The mediums runners of the 2 Mercedes drivers are there, and they are gonna challenge him into turn one, but they're not quite there. As we
Ooh.
see the first
Oh,
Mercedes
chaos.
out, and it's Dixie, and it might be a red flag even. This might be a red flag. And
There's
actually,
a lot of car parts on the road.
I actually somewhat need to call this. This might need to be a red flag by me.
Not even a safety car.
Interesting.
Not yet.
I'm just gonna type to everyone. Should that be a red flag? Should we continue?
Well, I don't see any stopped cars.
Yeah,
track.
but the thing is that there was just a lot of carbon fiber.
That's true, yeah. Well, that's up to you.
I have to see. Interesting that it was not. So, yeah, I'm getting messages by Rocco. Yeah, we are restarting the race.
Red flag then.
We will red flag the race. And well, that was hectic.
Yeah, it's always like Imola.
It always is, yeah.
The first set of corners is you can barely get 2 cars through there, and in an online race it's even harder than that.
Yeah. I don't know where my. Oh, I actually do know where I'm gonna push the time. Red flag, red flag. Everyone return to the pits, retire.
How will we do this? Do we make a new lobby or?
Lars will make a new lobby, or
Okay.
and people has been starting to ask question now why there was no safety car, and we had this last time out in
We did,
Pro
yeah.
Series, so it might be another glitch.
Did you set it up wrong again?
I didn't set it up. It was Lars this time, and like me, he has a save file, so it might be it.
Well, we have to get rid of that then.
Yeah. I will mute myself quickly, and I will leave the call for a second just to tell Lars some instructions
Yeah.
about the lobby. So bear with me, and yeah. I am back, and we are currently in an intermission, so we are in the commentary scene at the moment as we are waiting for the grid to fix. But that is a very weird incident indeed. And yeah, did you expect that? I didn't expect that at all.
I did.
You did.
It's really hard on this track to keep it clean, you know. As I think we'll see tomorrow, but It's really difficult. If you've ever done a league race around Imola,
I've done a
you
league
would
race
know.
around Imola, but I haven't had that big of an issue with turn one incidents.
I had a league race in Imola and we didn't even get to the first corner and like 15 cars were out already.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, there's a lot of comments asking what's up, restart, and Percy Keeley saying good content. Marila saying hi in the chat. But yeah, obviously that's same kind of thing we had in Bahrain Pro Series where we did load up a certain setting and it just didn't carry on over to the race. So at the moment, Rocco is having it double checked with Lars at the moment. So we got an admin working on that immediately. We do not want any sort of unfair racing or unfair advantage going on because obviously, if you do lose out, you should at least have a chance to recover with a safety car if there was a big incident such as what we saw. People are asking what was that? It was a bit of mayhem in turn one, but also that is expected of league racing. Even though everyone wants to survive and everyone wants to give space, sometimes it doesn't correlate to that because some people don't have the greatest of racing awareness or craft. But it's something that we do learn with time.
Yeah.
But yeah, James, you learned with time to not crash out. Well, actually, you might crash out Tix again when he takes over your seat, no?
Oh, he won't though.
Yeah, you've been saying that, but I've gotten DMs from George
I think
saying
I'm.
like we need to get this guy replaced in Mercedes. I don't want him in Mercedes anymore. uh,
He's in the chat,
George
George?
is no, George is not currently in the chat from what I can see. I got taken out. Big restart says that Mr. Michelin Man, which is Dixie. But
Is he?
uh, yeah, no, it's you don't want to see that by any
No.
stretch of the imagination. Uh,
I-
but we're currently awaiting a lobby invite from the lobby host.
It's like last week in Pro Tier, I got crushed out in turn one, and we did not see that the safety cars were turned off after the end of the race. So I was basically hoping for a safety car for 29 laps and driving in P14 for 29 laps waiting for a safety car, which never happened.
I do apologize, but that's genuinely something that we could not predicted that it would be because
Yeah.
no one has really highlighted that issue before. If I'm being brutally honest, I'm a very active member of the league admin launch or whatever you call it in the F1 Discord, and
Mm.
people constantly, bounce ball. I like bouncing. What am I saying? Ideas off each other, and basically we together came out with some ideas and whatnot to be running when the tire wear glitch was a prominent thing,
Oh yeah.
but I have not seen anyone discuss this before uh, about a lobby setting not being saved, which is really interesting to say the least because obviously we want the best racing as possible, and safety car is a part of that. So is red flags.
Yeah.
When red flags comes out, bring out the duct tape, repair the front wing, repair the rear wing with duct tape, like they did to Yuki Tsunoda's car back in Baku a season ago.
Do we have red flags turned on in this lobby now?
It should be turned on. I will actually have a quick look myself. It says that it is on.
And what about formation laps? Because we didn't have one.
It says that it's on.
Okay.
So if it doesn't carry over, then we know it's an issue with the game itself.
Okay.
At the moment, we're waiting for the drivers to join. So we had 15 drivers. So we're currently having 11 drivers on the grid. So we're missing
Or
4. So if you are amongst those 4, please do join the lobby. I heard he has to nerf himself by using a Wii control. Also, everyone would quit. Uh, are they talking about the Michelin star man, which is Dixie? Shout out to Big Dixie, 2 years out of the game and still hot on the sticks. I think that Dixie just got his friends to write this, to be honest, if it's not alt accounts.
where is everyone?
I don't see Lars in this lobby even.
Whoa. We need him. Oh,
Yeah,
Morgan.
yeah.
5. What's going on?
What's going on indeed? I'll be having a look. Let's
4
see.
now.
It's
There'll be
absolutely simply lovely, isn't it?
there'll be more commentators than drivers.
Nope.
2. Oh, you're also gone now.
There is another lobby.
Oh yes.
Well, I do apologize for the sudden wait, ladies and gentlemen, but for the time being, we can talk about the terrible performance of Mr. James Taylor last time out. If you're down for that.
I'm not, no.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Bahrain.
Yeah, it's not real.
It's not real. It's fake.
not real.
It's fake. It's
Yeah,
fake.
that never happened.
It never happened. It never did happen.
We can maybe talk about my highlights of last season. No?
What's your highlight of last season?
I genuinely have no idea.
I remember 2 seasons ago, me and you had a quite good battle in Miami.
Oh, I have a highlight of my career.
Mm-hmm.
First ever race on Power F1.
Yeah.
A win.
A win. Where was that?
A win. Spa-Francorchamps.
Spa-Francorchamps. My favorite.
Ignore my accent.
Oh, we actually had a good battle there as well. Until you decide to bin it. Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you binned it and I took P2 and you DNF'd.
Oh, yeah. No, I spun it. I didn't DNF. I was P4, I think.
Okay, but you still binned it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the podium spot. I appreciate it.
How can I see the history of like the results of all the seasons somewhere? Here, archive for it.
We do have that.
I did join season 4, I'm pretty sure.
No, season 3. Or the
Season
season 3.
3.
Season 3 or season 2. I think
So
it's
I was
season 3.
season 3, tier 2, I guess.
Yeah.
Was I? No, I guess I never existed.
I think those you might be looking into CRL might be. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I am. Where do I find our this leagues?
So we're currently awaiting people to be able to join the tier. At the moment, we can look at some clips that's already been submitted of the mayhem in the stream, and I'll just sort things out a bit because I think that will be a bit entertaining for the people who has nothing to do in this chat at the moment. And I will get it in a moment up for you.
We've got everyone in the lobby.
Yeah, they just need to sort out the grid, I guess.
Yeah.
Anywho, moving on. Here's what Jan submitted. Let's see from his point of view of what happened in this race start.
By the way, there's 16 now, not 15.
Yeah, someone benefited.
Milo, I think.
Yeah, someone benefited of joining late, and I just see a Mercedes spinning on the left, and just people trying to be careful, slowing down, and then people behind them not being able to react to that. Unfortunate series of event, really. But yeah, that's just that easily, just watching from this, easily should have been a red flag. And then a Ferrari spinning for good measure as well. So yeah, Rocket says you guys are welcome for me to keeping the sanity running in the lobby host VC. No, I don't think I will. Because I do have to entertain people at the same time as talking with Ergo, keeping a conversation going. Because I mean that's our job for today, right?
Yeah, I hope I'm getting paid.
I can pay you with a pat on your back.
You can pay me tomorrow in the race. You give me some DRS, some slipstream in qualifying.
All right. TC says ready up, and just to have all the settings double check with the rules, just to be sure. We got 10 seconds left to see. Yeah, everything is on. As you can see, everything is on. Well, no one could see it except me because I forgot to change it. But everything is on. I can promise you that. And
there should be a formation lap now.
There should be a formation lap. Absolutely. If it is gonna be a formation lap, I don't know.
Well, if it's not, then the lobby is not working.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's something wrong with it if that's the case. But hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will work. And yes, if any drivers are watching this currently, remember to put on your setup. You do not want a preset setup around Imola.
That's true. Okay.
Get your setups ready and have a fun race. Yeah, that is by technicality a red flag.
I'm not sure if there's a formation lap.
Don't tell me this.
I'm
It
not
is.
sure.
It is. There is. It says on. It says on. It should be on.
But it doesn't do.
All right. So Lars doesn't want to be lobby host anymore. No fail, no game. Welcome to be becoming tier admin. As my controller disconnects. Thankfully, we did not miss the start or anything. This controller is brand new. I bought this for $30.
Oh no. That.
Yes! We got a formation lap. Oh, my heart sank for a minute.
Everyone on mediums except No Fail and Bowler and Jan in P13, P14.
Yeah.
If Rezer gets a good start here, he has a good chance to pull away from No Fail.
Yeah.
On the hards as well.
So
but he doesn't. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Bowler taking sensor already out. I just wanted to highlight that. Yeah. It does feel good to see McLaren ahead of two Mercedes, right?
Yeah, it's like real life now.
Yeah, and also in this league, no?
Also here, yeah. all the Mercedes dominance that I did is it's a good thing to see it. See it change sides now.
Bowler taking sensor says that his force feedback is gone, and now
I feel you.
I'm saying to you right now, just alt tab and return, and it will fix itself.
Doesn't work. That doesn't work for me. I think it's different with each wheel.
Right, that's all done.
Did I just see those two Mercedes fighting a bit? No. Or struggling for grip?
Imagine. We battle now, as Percy Gilly said in qualifying, when Suyan went side by side with, I think was a Mercedes, my old teammate. And Sion was saying, like, what is this driver doing, man? This is qualifying. And Persigili said, no, haha, we battle now. Wonderful engineer. Absolutely loved having him as an engineer. Nofel was DQ'd, meaning that he was pushed back because he overstepped his marks. And if this was real life Formula 1, you would get a 5 or 10 second penalty, as Thomas D, I think, or Jan tries to find his spot. But anyways, we are waiting for the lights, and the lights are going. We get a terrible camera angle. Thank you, Codemasters, but it's 5 lights, and away we go. And it looks like Resi got a great start from no fail, and none of the Mercedes able to challenge him at the moment into turn 1. No fail looking to the inside, but comes nothing of it, and we get around cleaner this time.
Clean.
Lars is the one that loses out. Bola Tiklin says has lost a couple of positions, so has Cosmonauts. No DNFs as of yet right now, though, and the grid is still fairly stuck together, except for the Alfa Romeo of B-Roy, his debut as a reserve driver for the, what's it called now?
Challenger tier.
Yeah. Where we go? Let's go back. No, there's a formation. I was reading something that got my B-roll, but I don't think that's warrants a restart again. I think we can go racing.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because you just get disqualified from the formation lap. There's a McLaren around. That's Bollard tickling Sensei, and what we're seeing now is basically a giant McLaren sandwich.
That's true.
Yeah.
We saw Sharky get past Chris Wiggle into the final chicane there.
Yeah.
Around the outside.
And as it stands right now, there is one McLaren leading the field, and there is one McLaren lacking at the back of the field. But Nofil has been sticking to Resser in the Red Bull, so it's gonna be Red Bull versus McLaren. We have seen that last weekend, in the previous weekend in real life F1, and we have to see if he managed to stick with him a bit more. I mean, the grid is staying fairly close to each other, which is a great thing to see. But Tickling Sensor retired from the session. He thinks that he won't be able to recover after a wonderful performance in Bahrain. That's not something that you want to remember, do you?
This is not what Resser would want.
No.
He would want to build this gap more. He's on the slower tires than No Fail. And he's not really pulling away, is he?
No. He's not. As you mentioned before, yeah, Resser is on the medium compound tire, and so is the two Mercedes. So they did not decide to alternate strategy. No, Phil decided to go for the harder compound for this race, and we see a bit of chaos in the back as we see Magnetic in the gravel, and while Resser lost his teammate, so has No Fail.
No Fail is in the slipstream right now,
Oh,
looking for a move.
They go side by side, and there's a slight kink that is classified as turn 1 for whatever reason, and Nofel is leading the race now. So we got the German leading the race, and the McLaren is fighting back, going side by side into the fast left-hander, and for whatever reason, we didn't have any camera stabilizers on board the helicopter, and the camera was way too shaky there for a second. But yeah, Bola Tickling says leaving the session as well. Not something that we'd like to see, of course, but he thought that the race was not recoverable at that point. No fail, no game. There's a Red Bull leading the race. Where have we seen that before?
Everywhere. The top four really sticking to each other really closely.
Yeah, so
the corners.
We got No Fail leading the race, and we see a retirement on track, and someone spun in the Aqua Mineralia,
Safety car.
and that is a safety car, and that brings Magnetic back, and Myla is the one who falls victims to the difficult right corner.
I wouldn't think anyone would make a pit stop right now.
I don't think so either.
Too early.
Myla calling themselves I Am Stupid, which is made famous by Charles Leclerc in Baku, but we are in Imola, in fact. And Nofel seems to stay out. He wants to follow through with his tactic on the hard tire. And while the mediums hasn't been working all that great, dude, have they?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. What's wrong? As Cosmonaut and B-Roy both pit onto the hards. I'm not sure if they can take that to the end, to be honest.
I think the strategy from this time out, since you'll be saving the tires behind Bert Mylander in the Aston Martin, we see a few penalties. 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag.
Now, how
That
can
might
that happen?
that might be an overtake.
I did see Jan go off the track onto the grass for a split second there. I'm not sure if that has to do anything with it.
That will be looked at by the FIA, I am sure. But as of right now, yeah, we got no fail leading the race. So Max Verstappen finished first in Hungary. P2 was Lando Norris, Resser in P2, and then we got Hamilton in P3, which is Dixon. Oh, the two Mercedes collide, and is that not a commentator curse? Oh, they're in the same VC as well. Yeah, and now one of the Mercedes needs to pit, and that is one Shark. And Dixie has lost a handful of positions as well. And
I see Shark there without a end plate on his front wing.
Yeah, must be. And Shark needs to pit right now. Otherwise, he's going to lose too much time on the restart. And thankfully, the safety car is not going to restart this lap. But Shark is eager to look to go into the pits. Just look at him, just being so close to the McLaren gearbox, and that's something that you do not want to see as a team principal. And yeah, Shark is in for a wing change, which is fair enough, because yeah, you do not want to see that at all. And Percy Gilly says, oh boy, why did they have to do that? And that's a very good question. That is both Mercedes pitting, and I do wonder if Percy Gilly followed up with some of that damage, and Mercedes going from heroes to zero.
Sharky on the softs, gonna want to make up as many positions as he can. As Dixie goes onto the hards.
Rohi says thank you very much. And while Rohi is asking for position update, Xavi in the pit box says we are checking, because they are completely bamboozled by the sudden 2-place promotion to the podium spot.
I just heard a radio message from Rezer himself saying that No Fail has been running very, very low wings. Maybe that's how he has the advantage and could possibly start a train around this track.
Did you remember when I said I have a little piece of paper or document that showcased the qualities and what you need from the car of each track?
Yeah.
The only person that I did say I gave it to is actually No Fail, so he might have used that. Right. A little piece of information, because he pinned that in our DM, and he said that he might be able to use it for today's race. And
safety car ending.
Safety car is ending, you're absolutely right. And No Fail is slowing the grid down, and of course that is to allow the Aston Martin leading the pack before.
A Ferrari. No, was that Alfa Romeo's front wing just fallen off?
That's not great, is it?
I've seen some debris there.
Well, we have to go back to it momentarily, as Snowfield is preparing to go in the Red Bull, followed closely by the McLaren Resser and Rohi in the Ferrari, and he is going. And Resser is burning ERS to catch up. He wants to do the overtake on Nofil, and Nofil is protecting the inside, which is the line that you want to protect, down into turn 2, turn 3, and now approaching turn 4, and now there is a small little straight where there is an overtaking opportunity. Look at the gap they built, and the big loser from that is Rohi, as he lost out to Thomas D.
Oh, they're really scrapping right now. They're very, very close. You've seen the Ferrari into the first chicane, went onto the curbs, lost the position to Thomas D right there.
Yeah.
And lost all that time, almost. It's 2 seconds now to P1 and P2.
Thomas D, very clean race as of right now. in the Alpine. He got a P3 position from Bahrain, and he is currently in P3 as well. Not the exact same grid order. Of course, Resser is there, but Shark is down in P9. He has made some positions down, and we're going to go on board with him as he's making overtakes after overtakes. And we see a Haas by the name of Unstoppable down in P14 having an incident down in the tricky right-hander as we are on board with Shark at the moment as well, taking very, very tight lines and just making the overtake stick. And people are not really battling it because they know that he got pace with the soft tires.
They're not fighting him. He's on a completely different strategy. Well, are they? They're all going to box one more time.
So by the information I got from the little piece of paper I got, is that Imola is a low tire deg sort of track, so you can actually maybe pull off a soft medium. That is entirely possible. And Shark made himself up to P7, and Dix is in P10. So Mercedes doing everything they can to recover at the moment. And Resser sticks to P2, and Nofil is in P1.
Remember, Dixie is under hards. He might be taking these to the end. We'll have to wait and see, though.
We do have to wait and see. And Dixie, I've been teammates with him before in a Mercedes, and I still remember Australia in a league called Power Racing League before it was rebranded and merged with CRL to become Power F1. We were teammates in Australia, and it just so happens that turn 1, lap 1, we crashed into each other as well. You do not want to have that as a teammate.
Nofil's broken the 1 second gap already, just 2 laps after the safety car restart. Very good from the hard tires as well.
Yeah, we're sure we are in equal cars because Nofil is absolutely soaring in the Red Bull at the moment. And Nofil, we actually had a little chat the other day while we were practicing for Imola together. And Nofil says that he's been really working on being more consistent and having more of a muscle memory to the car rather than trying to focus on when he should turn in. He wants the muscle memory to sort of trigger when he's going to turn in. And it seems like all that training has paid off for him as of right now, since he's broken the DRS to Resser, and now is leading the Imola Grand Prix after a 2-season hiatus as well.
Sharky's making all the moves right now. If you're right on board with him, it's about to make a move on TC Gaming into the final 2 corners.
Yeah, and TC is defending the inside. Shark, oh, it's a bit close on exit. Just enough space for both of them, and Shark makes the move around the outside as well, and he has DRS for good measure. TC is losing out to DRS and might get overtaken by 2 cars at once because the cars behind him has DRS on him.
So does Dixie's gonna have him try as well, but
Dixie
make the mistake.
Yeah, what a drive from the Mercedes drivers at the moment. Very mature moves as well, not risking anything in particular, just going for the gaps that does exist. And talking about gaps, we see TC forcing Dixie onto the gravel. Dixie has to try again. TC says, that's my corner. And in the Michelin, a man wants to have a go again, I am sure, on those hard tires, but they are absolutely rapid currently.
Shark is gaining very fast onto Thomas D and Rohi. And also they're falling back from the top 2 as well.
Yeah, Shark alone in that corner gained a 10th.
Wow. Well, the soft tires are working very well, I guess. But we'll have to wait and see how long they can last.
The team principal of Mercedes might look into promoting one of the younger drivers, not younger, but one of the lower tier drivers to Pro Series, giving them a chance, because Shark is absolutely making overtakes, unlike the other guy last week.
Dixie just made a wonderful move. I don't know if you've seen it, but around the outside into the last 2 corners, like Sharky did.
Oh wow. I mean, the Mercedes are absolutely on it, and Resser keeps losing time to Nofil. He can't seem to overtake him at the moment. Seems like the little practice session we had paid off quite well. Myla in the chat saying, I'm not trusting Steam setups anymore. Do you take your setups from Steam? I'll take them from the leaderboards and sort of work on them myself to make them fit my style of driving.
I take a time trial setup and take a race setup from YouTube and mix them together.
That's actually very smart. And we are currently on board with Chris Wiggle as we see Dixie just looming in the back there. He has my helmet because he has his helmet. If that doesn't make any sense, I do commissions. So the people who have received my helmet or bought a helmet for me has the helmet in game, and we basically take it from the same source file. So while it's displayed as my helmet in my game, it's displayed as his helmet in his game. And we see one Shark and Dixie both gonna try for a move. On board with Shark quickly, going around the inside of Thomas D, and Dixie going around the inside as well of Chris Wiggle, and both Mercedes making overtakes in the same straight as well.
Shark is really making those softs work. It's crazy how fast he gained those 2 seconds on these guys.
Gamma B says...
Rohi's made a mistake. He ghosted, and he's just let Sharky through now.
And Shark
into P3
in the podiums and just 3 seconds adrift from P2. Gamma B says that the tires of Shark is not real and they will last till the end. B-Roy. No, Gamma B said that in the chat. And Shark back to where he was once was, and Dixie committed to make
there's
that.
Alfa Romeo crashed into the wall.
Chris Wiggle, and that's a safety car. That is gonna change things up as well, because now, unlike the safety car before, Nofel and Reza might look into pitting.
They have to box. They have to.
So
it's not very good for Nofel though.
On board with Nofel, and Nofel fakes.
Stayed out.
He fakes a move to the pits, and he's staying out, which is not the strategy I would go for.
Dixie's staying out also.
Shark
is going in.
Oh,
Shark is going in.
No, it's Dix. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Dixie's staying out, yeah.
Yeah, I just got confused on the map for a second there. Dix is staying out on those hards because he doesn't need to pit again. He has already done mediums, and he has hards currently.
All the medium runners are going onto the hards, I would think, yeah. But it's going to be really interesting to see Dixie trying to make it to the end. And no fail, I don't know what he's doing. That was a free pit stop onto the mediums, but he didn't take it.
He might do it now though, but we know that he has race pace. It's just a matter of making the overtakes. But we saw that with Shark and Dixie, both Mercedes boys making up ground from what they've lost. They said, all right, mate, we made a mistake, but we're just gonna get right back up there. And that's exactly what they did. And look at Dixie P2 now, running P2. Thomas D P3 at the moment. And Nofel with a controversial move to stay out, faking a move to the inside, but decided to stay out. A bit of a weird strategy call there from the Red Bull boys. But Nofel has been pacey the whole race so far. So, I don't know. He might know something that we don't.
This is Rezer's race to win right now, I think. He has the best tires on the grid. He's P4. Everyone in front of him is old hards. He just has to make these moves and run away with it. And keep Sharky behind as well.
Yeah, so no fail right now passing the pit. Is he going to do something?
Shark just lost 6 positions in one corner.
And Shark swimming in the wrong type of water currently.
What? He's boxed.
Yeah, Shark losing out on some ground. He's on the harder tire now, so overtaking will be a bit more difficult. But something that we haven't spoken about is Nofel's teammate, because now he's currently in the game. He can practically be the widest Red Bull that they've ever seen and not let Shark through, making Nofel build that gap and potentially catch him up when he does make his eventual first pit stop.
It's really hard to overtake on this track. It's the only place really you can do it is turn 1 or turn 2, the chicane, which you can only do with ERS and ERS. But if you're defending and you save your ERS for the whole lap and just use it all up on that straight, it's not actually that hard to defend.
Yeah. Because the rest of the track is really difficult to overtake. It's a bit of a, you get a slice of Hungary, you get a slice of Singapore in this track, a bit of bits and pieces of DNAs in Imola. So safety car will be in this lap, I do believe, as B-Roy is catching up to the grid. And the grid is warming up. Safety car is in this lap, so Bert Mylander has gotten the call from Michael Massey to return to the pits.
They're going side by side. I'm not sure if that's legal, but okay.
We'll have to see. As it sort of gives me the, what's it called? The Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton type of vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sort of feels like someone is gonna pull something into turn 1, not give the other one too much space, and no fail, no game. It's gonna go now. No, he's not.
He's not
I thought he's going. He already went, but now he's going, and he got Dixie absolutely napping. Dixie being caught with pillows and blanket around his body, and right now he's lacking the straight line speed to catch up to Nofel, and Nofel already has built half a second gap. Cosmonauts now in P3 as well. Oh, made a bit of a fuss in the exit as well. Now going side by side with Resser in the McLaren. He has the inside line though, Resser, and he made the overtake stick. And the Alpine is having such a struggle on the restart as well. Already under attack by his own teammate, Thomas D and Ferrari. And let's see if Cosmonaut is going to play the team game or if we're going to see a Pierre Gasly and Ocon yet again. And it does seem like he lets him through. Magnetech as well. Having been a moment. Oh, the shark made a little hit to his to TC as TC suddenly broke. From my point of view as well. And TC is not out of this race, but he might carry a lot of damage. We're going on board with him currently to see what his situation is like. And it looks like his car is missing an end plate. Yeah, that's not ideal for TC Mustache.
Resser's made a move for P2, and he's right on the gearbox of no fail. He's going to try and make a move in turn 1, but
he's not
he
burning.
Did say the straight line speed on that McLaren is not very good compared to the Red Bull.
Yeah, is that a PU thing? Maybe the cars are not equal, with the tire wear and all.
They are equal. I think it's a setup issue.
And TC retired from the session. The American driver decided that there is no point of recovering this. He might have carried side pod damage or whatever. But yeah, that's not something you want to... Yeah, he just made an overtake.
We completely missed that.
I saw that. Just didn't say anything about that. Anywho, Nofel and Resser are the protagonists of this race so far, and I think that the tires might actually has lost Nofel that position.
He is on 11 lap older tires than Resser.
Wait, so he has made his pit stop?
He hasn't made his pit stop. Nofel has not made his pit stop yet. He still has to box onto the mediums or softs.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said 11, okay.
No, 11. Resser's on 11 lap old, not old, newer tires than Nofel.
Oh, okay. I got you. So Resser, yeah, made a mistake and already building a gap to Nofel. Just inside the DRS. We have to see if he's gonna stick to it. No, he's outside. Dixie though, under pressure by the Alfa Romeo behind him, Rohi.
Sharky is not moving up, he's moving down. He just lost 2 places into the first chicane. He went onto the grass, and this is not what he would want.
Oh, look at this little battle, and again, Shark taking out the driver he took into Power F1. B-Roy, he's taking out his friend. And yeah, that's gonna be an awkward VC after, I am sure. And Shark just making enemies rather than friends in the race currently. But also, it just seems like Shark has a different way of breaking into that corner than the other drivers, but not really participating in, not anticipating what the other drivers will do at the current moment. And oh, Cosmonaut gets all loosey-goosey on the exit there, and he gets pressured by two drivers behind him, has no DRS to fight back, might be a double overtake on Cosmonauts, and Cosmonaut loses a position to Shark. Will he lose another position to Jan? Jan faked the move, but Cosmonaut didn't budge. And yeah, so far, Resser still P1, Nofel still P2, and Rohi is sitting back behind Nofel with 50% ERS or something, and yeah, just waiting to make the move.
Nofel's waiting for a safety car, I think.
Absolutely.
He would have boxed already. There's just no point of hanging this out. It's just gonna lose more time to Resser.
Yeah, as we go into the 18th lap, that Resser is about to start, and Nofel is under pressure by the Ferrari behind him. And Dixie has actually lost some time to the Ferrari as well, since that overtake by the Scuderia Ferrari team. We have to see if he's gonna make a move into turn 1/turn 2. And look at that! Not even a match. Nofel absolutely losing pace. He has no ERS to defend with as well. DRS being so powerful in this game as well.
The tires must be absolutely shredded now. He can't hold on to this for any longer, I don't think.
Yeah, he's been running through those tires on a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Basically. Like you said, Shark is not really making big moves forward. He's currently 2 seconds adrift from Magnetic in P6 in the other Red Bull. It'd be interesting to see if there's going to be more battles panning out as the race progresses, but at the moment, Dixie and Shark in no man's land at the moment.
Yeah. The two Mercedes don't have any pace on those hard tires now. I don't know why. They look pretty good on the mediums.
Yeah.
Maybe setup issue? I'm not sure.
Might be a setup issue actually. And people are saying in the chat that Shark is on a mission and Shark is not cooking.
He's not, no.
No.
He's actually going to get overtaken by Jan here on the straight with DRS. Wow.
So a huge drop-off in pace by both Mercedes drivers. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like you predicted, Jan did make the overtake, and now Shark has to stick behind the Williams for one lap. And Dixie not making any progress forwards as well. Nofel has kept that lead, not lead, but the gap stable to Dixie 2 seconds, and B-Roy getting a 5-second penalty in the pits for a good measure for his disappointing race so far with the okay qualifying he had. And yeah, as of right now, there is not a whole lot going on. The closest battle that we got is Shark, Jan, and Magnetic.
I don't think Dixie's gonna make it to the end as well. He's done 14 laps on those tires, but also counting the safety car laps, which is barely anything. So it's going to be hard at the end, of course.
Definitely, it's going to be hard. And Shark doesn't seem to have any pace. Does he carry any type of damage? Because he's understeering everywhere, and he's just losing time to the people ahead. As we see Dixie into the pits.
Dixie and Nofel.
He says no to those tires, and Nofel says absolutely no to those tires as well. And Nofel overtaking Dixie in the pit. It seemed like Dixie had a slow pit stop as well. as
Yeah.
the gap is way bigger than 2 seconds now, and now the Red Bull driver has really something to work with. He has right around, I'd say, 15 seconds there.
15 seconds.
15 seconds to make up the gap to the cars ahead. And now Rohi in the Ferrari is P2, but let's see if they will have the same tire drop off.
We know he's got pace, no fail. He's gonna catch up those 14 seconds by the end of the race, of course. But can he make the moves as well?
That's the big
That's the
question, indeed.
Yeah.
Lars is the driver to catch up to in the Aston Martin. B-Roy made a move on the Haas Unstoppable, not having the greatest of races as of yet in the Haas. And it's actually so funny to think about that. You know, the field is quite spread around at the moment. Not a whole lot of battles going on, but with the snap of my fingers, it could easily have been a safety car if just one small incident happened on track. And Lars in the DRS of Cosmonauts on board with the Aston Martin as well, and Cosmonaut is flashing, and Lars is gonna look to make the move. He doesn't have that much of a straight line speed advantage. I'd argue that Cosmonauts moved under braking there.
He didn't have DRS, Lars. He didn't have DRS.
He didn't have DRS, and I'd say that's an easy 5-second penalty to going the way of Cosmonauts, because that is simply moving under braking.
There's a nice Thomas D train forming right now from P3 to P6.
All on board the Dutch train. Toot toot.
Sharky's running pretty close to Jan now. He almost made a move in Sector 2, but it's pretty much impossible without having the DRS advantage.
Yeah, and Thomas D needs to make somewhat of a gap right now, because all the 3 cars behind him has DRS on him. And we know how powerful the DRS is around Imola as well, from what we've seen of No Fail as well, with the Easy Pass racer mate. And we have to see, we're on board with the Red Bull as well. Thomas D saw a bit of a red flash there, and he's burning ERS to stay ahead, and Magnetic on the grass. People like us that don't run ABS, that's a big no-no in this game, isn't it?
Oh yeah. You touch the grass, you're off into the barriers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's difficult. As Jan is making move on Magnatech.
We are on board with Jan currently, and Jan on the inside made the move. Stick and Shark now looking to make a move around the inside on Magnatech as well, and Shark spins! No! The Mercedes woes continue, and Toto Wolff is smashing his headset and fist on the table in disgust of what he has just seen. The Red Bull driver, he's gonna have a call with Helmut Marko and Helmut Marko and Christian Horner, and Christian Horner is gonna say, "Fix your effing car."
Do you remember that 14-second gap that No Fail had?
Absolutely, it's down to 1.8.
Yeah. After just 2 laps, he might even get DRS on Lars right now.
Yeah.
He needs to make these moves fast and good. Also,
I mean, he caught up 14 seconds in a matter of 3 laps. That's something to write home about, despite any type of result he might get. And he has DRS. I don't think he wants to make the overtake though.
DRS.
He does not have. Okay. He goes around the
make
outside. Oh, it's a difficult corner to go side by side with, and Nova lets him go. And we got a yellow flag. That's the Haas of Unstoppable, having a bit of a trip into the gravel as he spins again for good measure and breaks his swing. Yeah, and that's a VSC, and might be promoted to a full course safety car, depending on how many cars are in that sector.
No Fail was just about to make a move on Lars though, but VSC got in his way.
Yeah. So that Haas as well might get a penalty for retiring on track, because there is no terminal damage and they're retired on track. So that, why we have that rule in the league, a simple explanation, it can trigger a safety car without needing a safety car. If you need to retire, go to the pits.
That's
what I
right.
need to do.
Now, a safety car. Oh, Magnatex boxing. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. Lars gets a
Oh,
drive-through
Lars,
penalty. That's not
no.
something you want to have. And
Oh.
it is a drive-through. It is such a shame because that is has basically ruined his chances of a good race finish. He's not gonna drop out of points, but he's gonna drop down to P10. And yeah, on board with Nofel right now. He didn't need to make a move stick because Lars needed to pit anyway. So Nofel now 3.3 seconds off Cosmonauts, and he needs to make the tire work.
He's gaining fast as well.
Yeah, caution sector 1, and that is Lars' yellow flag because it's slow out of the pits, I would guess.
Yeah.
Shark in no man's land yet again after that little spin and tussle with Magnetic, and let's see if he's going wide in a lot of the corners I've seen so far. Rocco in the chat saying that Shark is currently cooking an L.
Is he? It's 10.6 gap from Jan Shark. How did that happen? Wasn't he right behind him? Oh, he did. He got spun out by Magnatech.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
No fail has just made a move.
Just went on board with that. That is Max Verstappen reincarnated into league racing right there. Because the pace he carries on those mediums at the moment is absolutely unreal.
Dixie is also flying, set the fastest lap right now.
Yeah, and Shark is now caught by No Fail. And look at Shark, how much slower he is in the corners.
Wow. Surely he's not going to make a move here.
No Fail going for the switchback. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. They're side by side now.
Oh.
And No Fail has the inside. He has the apex. It's his corner in the next coming corner. But he decides to back off. But he has the better traction on the inside as well. And he has the outside. Around the next couple of corners. Oh, that could have been damage. Easily could have been damage. But No Fail decides to be a bit more mature on his overtaking and decide to hold back because Shark is a very good defender, if he wants to be. And now Shark
He needs
breaks.
to play it smart.
Shark suddenly broke for DRS. I don't think that will be looked favorably towards the Mercedes driver. But although I don't think Shark is going to make any type of overtake
far away.
Yeah. Exactly. No Phil might be flashing, but he's also flashing goodbye to Shark.
Now a 10.8 second gap to P4. Can he make that?
Yeah. That is the big question. We're more than halfway through the race. We got a couple more laps to go, and the unsung hero and the dark horse has in this race. Remember who qualified last?
No.
It's the Williams of Jan, and look where he's now.
That's true, yeah. Oh, Sharky's getting it all wrong right now. He's struggling so much, he just went onto the grass once again. And Dixie is trying to go around the outside of Cosmonauts. He pushes them off the track though.
I just saw that. Just jump on board.
They're
with
still
that.
side by side. He makes the move.
He makes the move. He says it's his corner. I'll be damned if I stick behind you for yet another lap, and he made the mistake. And ahead of him is his teammate, and it seems like Shark must carry some type of damage because that Mercedes is absolutely not flying at the moment.
Struggling so much under. He's let him through as well.
Yeah, team orders. Toto Wolf called. He said he wants his. He says that Lewis is faster than you. Oh, but yeah, absolutely good racing from him. Sticks behind Thomas as well within the DRS range, and No Fail not really making the time he needs to. We went away from him when he was 10 seconds adrift. He's only made 2.5 seconds. No, 1.5 seconds to the cars ahead. So he needs to make up a lot more time to catch up to the cars ahead.
I'm not sure if that's enough. I'm not sure if that's fast enough to catch up to these guys. But Well, he's got 6 laps, 8 seconds. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, I mean he's now hearing the Super Max anthem going on in his car. They're playing in in the radio right now, and Ben just said massive stinker by Shark. Yeah, Shark has just been nowhere and everywhere at the same time.
He's
And-
struggling so much on those hard tires. You
Yeah.
could see if he just ride on board, he's sliding through every corner.
Do you think he carries some type of damage, rear-wing damage, diffuser damage, anything?
Well, underfloor maybe from all the high curbs, but I doubt it. Maybe just the tire. Oh, Jan just got pushed off onto the gravel after Thomas D did not leave any space on the outside.
If you no longer go for a gap, simply put, so it's not been the cleanest of racing, has it? But it has been exciting racing as of right now. We don't think that Nofel is gonna win because Rohi has a 7-second gap to Resser.
Yeah.
But Nofel definitely is in shout of the podium if he keeps this pace up. 5 seconds. We left him when he was 7 seconds adrift.
This battle between Jan and Thomas D is really helping him. He's just found 2 seconds on this same lap, and Jan's gonna try and make another move, I think.
Do you see that? And do you smell that as well? I see some orange smoke. What is that?
I think
Some
it's coming
orange
from
flares.
the pit lane.
The Red Bull is absolutely cooking. He might have not pulled out the greatest strategy call ever, but what he's made out of this race has been exciting racing, fair racing, and good racing by no fail. And all the creds to him. Resser, currently in P1 as well, had a good battle with him. Lost the time to him when they were on the same compound of tires, but Nofil decided to pull a bit of a different strategy and lost out big time. And there hasn't been a safety car since. The last chance of a safety car is this lap, and if there is no safety car this lap, you can count that out for the rest of the race.
Jan and Thomas D just switched positions last lap on the straight. Nothing dramatic.
Yeah, I have to say though, my driver of the day so far, despite the awesome recovery momentarily by Shark and awesome recovery by Nofil from the weird strategy call, I would have to say that Jan is my driver of the day. From having absolutely no pace in qualifying to absolutely to have all the pace during the race.
He's gonna defend for his life for that P3 if no fails gets there in time to challenge them.
Yeah, 3 seconds adrift. He needs more than a second a lap to catch up to them.
Yeah, those mediums are going to start degrading soon as well. It's done 10 laps on them already, so
yeah, he's a man on a mission right now. This driver is actively looking. He can see the car. He can smell the podium. He can taste the champagne. And it's just a fingertip away from him. He can see they are battling ahead of him. He's burning absolutely everything he got that he has left in the ERS tank. Goes a bit wide there on exit as well for good measure. He wants that podium. You just know how much the guy desires a podium by the way he drives at the moment.
yeah, he's pulling away from Thomas D.
Look at that! He's 1.8 seconds off, and there's a caution, yellow flag. That's the Alfa Romeo of B-Roy.
I think he spun it.
Yeah, too late for a safety car now, though, as we approach the penultimate lap, and Nofil just outside of DRS. It's gonna be a tight one in the when the finish comes around. And we see Thomas D and Jan battling as well. This will help the Red Bull driver in the back. Nofil is gonna need everything going his way if he wants to get that podium. Getting a podium on your debut after a 2-season hiatus, that's something to brag about.
He's running so close behind Thomas D right now. He smells the podium already.
Oh, look at him now. He's inside the RS. He's 8 tenths away from P4, and Thomas D currently in P1. There's just not a lot of room to leave it. Oh, he goes wide. He made a mistake. He mounted the sausage curb, and now he lost some time to the cars ahead, but he's still catching on those old mediums, and it's gonna be close. And
There's so much going on.
Rocco says, let my boy Jan get a podium. Look how close Nofel is right now.
Oh no.
If there's a shot for a podium, here it is. It's presented on a silver platter. Thomas D out of ERS. Jan also, no, he has a tank. Oh, he goes for the move. Not quite. Oh, Nofel spins on exit as well. I'm losing my voice.
Jan needs to make this move to get the podium. This is his last chance.
This is his last chance. He has a tank full. Oh, he makes the overtake before the corner. Thomas D brakes late, pushes him into the curb as well. That might be some investigating going on from the FIA, but now Jan has to defend from Nofel. Nofel going around the outside. Is he going to get given space? He's forced space. And now he's going to hunt down the Alpine of Thomas D. Thomas D has been defending this like a lion, as a wise old man, Spanish old man once said in Hungary. And he's been absolutely cooking this race. And he's looking to get the dessert as the finishing meal of the day. He gets a good exit. Oh,
and Resser comes around the final corner to win the Italian Grand Prix.
We need to be on board with this. I'm sorry, Resser, my national compatriot, but we need to be on board with this battle at the moment. Nofel has absolutely no ERS to defend with, but the classification will remain as Jan goes wide, and that gives Dixie a place in the top 5. And crossing the line, it will be Thomas D in P3, Nofel P4 side by side, picture finish, Dixie P5, and Jan finishes off in P6.
86 hundredths of a second.
Oh god, I lost my voice completely.
Wow,
what a drive. And Jan being the biggest loser out of that battle, and I feel so bad for him, because the drive he had from last to third, it was absolutely amazing. And of course, this is the classification we have for now, and FIA will investigate the incident that did happen on track. I'm sorry for my voice. It just got raspy towards the end. But ergo, AK James, is that not a great race to return to commentary for?
Well, that was very, very good at the end there. 86 hundredths of a second.
Absolutely
for the podium. That's amazing.
And Jan says, you think this is the championship defining race, the way people are defending? It's never that deep. And we see a familiar face on the top step of the podium, Brendan Lee as a Swede in the McLaren outfit, winning the Imola Grand Prix. Did not taking the wrong steps there, and yeah, Nofel just missing out on the podium as well. But what a race we just witnessed, and I think that people enjoyed that one, and it needs to be highlighted in TikTok's Instagram. It needs to be out there. The recovery from Nofel, absolutely wonderful. And here we see the classification from the race. So we got a couple of DNFs, and we got 11 people finishing the race. What a race that was. And we will carry over this exciting racing for tomorrow as well with full qualifying Pro Series. And yeah, you and me will be racing there. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Where do you reckon you will qualify?
Easy top 15.
Easy top 15. You just had to make it like you made it sound like you were sure getting top 5, but then it's like top 15. Do you know that memes like easy top 5 or easy top
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
easy
yeah,
top 3,
yeah.
16th? That was you.
That was me last week.
Absolutely beautiful racing by everyone. Uh, and some people have highlighted that track limits were off. We need to look into that as well.
I think they were. Yeah, I saw the the Red Bull going wide like 5 times and no penalties. So
Yeah, but I must admit though, it was good to see that people still try to keep within the track limits.
yeah, yeah.
That's absolutely great to see, and what a race that we have witnessed here, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we'll go to the interviews, and with the penalties, we'll of course investigate that, and we'll see how we are gonna approach all that. But I think that's still a fair race qualification, though, classification for round 2 of Imola in Challenger Series, and we're gonna bring a couple of people in to the commentary box, and we're starting off with the people in for the person in the podium spot, which is Thomas. So we're moving him into chat. But ergo, if you may join, just join the a chat, and I'll drag you into the chat, and
Okay.
we'll be back with everyone momentarily.
Yep.
Welcome back. And firstly, we're gonna move Mr. Thomas D into the cop chat.
Oh my god.
As a wise old Spanish man once said, I will defend like a lion. And I think you
Exactly.
carried that with you in this race. You defended like a lion. A bit too hard sometimes, in my opinion. We'll
I
have
don't
to
know,
see
mate.
what FIA have to see about that. But it looked great from you. You once again finishing off in the podium. Great race. Talk me through it.
Well, I don't know actually what to say. It's just been a very I don't want to say boring race, because at the end I had a lot of cars uh, trying to get that podium. I think a lot of drivers made a mistake in the middle of the race, so they had to catch up. David was one of them, and he was very close to still nick it, but I kept it in the podium.
Absolutely. So do you think that FIA will investigate, and do you think the verdict will go against or for you?
Well, it was a lot of aggressive. I think it was aggressive, but if Jan or David are not reporting anything, I think I should be fine.
All right. Well, next race is Baku. Are you looking forward to it?
Uh, well, I don't have to defend there because the walls do that for me. So I think
James.
it will be qualifying will be important.
Yes, of course. It's always important in Baku. James, do you have anything to add?
How are you feeling on those tires at the end there? Do you think few more laps and they would be gone, or
Yes. Well, for all
yeah?
race long, I thought they could go to the end, but in the last 5 laps, they were a bit slippery at the end. For example, in the second sector, the uphill after the chicane, I normally can go full throttle when you pass the corner, but now the rear was a bit loose, so the tires were really falling off, but still
Yeah.
kept it.
Well done. Anything else?
That's everything from me.
Well done. Thomas D, hopefully you carry out this form. You've gone 2 podiums in a row now.
Yeah, love it.
Before FIA, so we're not quite sure.
Yeah.
FIA is gonna have a look into those incidents. But yeah, great race as race result at the end. Nevertheless, and yeah, Baku,
Yeah.
another P3.
It's gonna be difficult, but that's what I said last week as well. So
All right, yeah. Thank you for
hey,
joining us, and yeah, have a great one. Enjoy the champagne.
yeah, thank you.
All right, next we're gonna drag the scintillating, the quick, the awesome, the unlucky. There's a lot of orange flares around here. Can barely
Oh,
see out of the commentary window. But no fail. Absolutely scintillating race that you had. Absolutely overtakes left, right, and center, leading the race as well. Having great battles, making smart moves. Everything just went right, but still so wrong. Talk me through your race.
So I will start at qualifying. So like last week I couldn't attend because I was still in Japan on my trip, so I couldn't race. And
Thank
then
you for the cards.
yeah, then this week, my first race after a year. First of all, I thought I was washed as hell. So I asked some people, Ricky, if they could help me come back to my good standards back again. And yeah, the people, Ricky, helped me quite a lot. And then I was training the shit out of me through the last 3 days and got constantly quicker and more consistent. Today I tried different strats on the hard first, on the medium first. I chose the hards, and that in the end maybe have gotten me because of the second safety car.
Yeah, the second safety car really did cost you, but you made a great recovery nevertheless. That was awesome to see.
I almost got on the podium still. Just almost.
Yeah, you could see the podium, you could smell the champagne, but it just wasn't enough. And James, do you have anything to add? Because I have a bunch of questions, but I just can't think of them at the moment.
why didn't you box under the safety car? Do you think that the mediums wouldn't make it to the end, or what was your process?
I did, like I said, I did the testing with the mediums, and once they got to 50%, I was sliding in the rear because I'm a guy who gets way too early on the throttle, so I tend to spin a lot more. So I stick to my original strategy, hard medium, and at lap 20 I changed, like most of the hard runners did. And then I was just flying with the mediums, knowing, hey, I can go all out without having to worry for like degradation, especially after the third, not safety car, but the virtual safety car.
Like I said, I had a bunch of questions to ask, but I think I've come up with some of them right now. You've been absolutely rapid returning to PF1 after taking that 1 year hiatus, and what I hoped wasn't a retirement, but thankfully you are here now today. And looking back at it, do you think that was a good time to do sort of like what Daniel Ricciardo did, just sort of reflect, recharge, and come back stronger?
To be honest, it was just F122. It was horrible.
I think I second that. I think James second that as well. It wasn't a great game. Was there anything, James?
Not really, no.
No. All right. I just want to say it's great to see you back, buddy. Red Bull as well. Back to challenging for the wins as well. Your teammate hasn't had the best of luck, but hopefully
if
Red
I
Bull
saw
can
it
bring
correctly, he got the fastest lap, right? Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
So good points for the team, and that's one thing that matters most, in my opinion.
Maybe a potential constructors is on the horizon. We'll have to see. Because, Resser might be the leading McLaren, but his teammate is not as quick as him, as he retired today, actually. So, maybe, just maybe. Mercedes didn't have a good race as well today, so, you know.
Yeah, and as we saw at the beginning, I can keep up with Resser and really challenge him.
Exactly. Well,
I'm looking forward to maybe even winning the title, but I don't want to say something.
Fingers crossed, and best of luck to you. And ladies and gentlemen, that is no fail. Thank you for joining the commentary box, and hopefully you'll be as rapid as you were here in Baku.
Hell yeah.
All right, great racing. Thank you for joining us in the commentary box. And next we're gonna bring in is I think it's only fair to bring in Dixie as he finished off top 5. And I accidentally just kicked him from the server, but
Okay.
Mr. Michelin Man,
Hello.
Mr. Chris Hansen, and now whatever your profile picture is. We've been teammates before. You sound exactly the same. I love it. And well, not the greatest of races and debuts for yours point of view. Of course, you did qualify quite well, but there was a lot of mistakes going on. Talk me through your race.
Well, honestly, I mean the race was good. Like I had good pace on the mediums. But under safety car, I felt like the McLaren brake checked me. And seeing over angles and POVs, it definitely did, which was a shame, you know. So instantly gave me the wing damage and spun under safety car, got me down to P12. And yeah, it was literally just a case of trying to like get some points and build back up into the field at that point. And when I went onto the hards, my mechanics, for some reason, didn't want to change my wing. So yeah, so I ran a damaged wing all the way up to lap 20. I was getting mad understeer in like sector 1, and the fast like turns of like sector 2. So it was just literally from then on.
Yeah, I mean that is very unlucky, and we're currently watching the little incident that you were talking about the braking, and well, it looks a bit like a sudden break. So FI will of course investigate that as always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Enjoy
no,
your
I mean
habit.
it was a good race. It was a good race. I mean we had in terms of points, we got some good points, and we'll have to see what happens next race.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how great is it to be back on the saddle yet again, racing?
It feels good, man. I mean, last year it just wasn't my year. I was too slow, and I was very busy. But coming back this year, and you know, being on like the close to the front grid, I mean, you know, the pace is there, and maybe with a bit more practice, we'll be P1, P2.
One thing I have to ask though, when that little thing happened between you and Shark during safety car,
Yeah.
I got sudden PTSD to Australia round 1 of Power Racing League. If you remember that.
I think I got PTSD from that, and also Mexico. I think we had an absolute nightmare in Mexico as well.
No, but it's great to hearing from you again, buddy. James, do you have anything to add?
Do you were you expecting something more from the race results, because you certainly had pace in qualifying?
Yeah, I mean, literally coming out of sort of, you know, finishing the race and looking at sort of times that everyone was pumping in, we were, you know, up there with sort of Reza and you know the two top guys. So it was a bit, you know, of a shame to lose track position under safety car. I mean, it's such an easy thing and so stupid, but you know, I mean, obviously Reza's probably going to be the guy to beat this season, and if, you know, me and Sharky can both be up there, which, you know, chances are we both can, then we'll give him a good battle.
All right. Well, like I said to Mr. Nofeld, might be a constructors or world driver title in the horizon. We'll have to see. But nevertheless, welcome back to Power F1. Great to see you back, and hopefully you can carry out a better result next race.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining Computer Box. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Right. So we are. There's a lot of people who wants to interview. Right. We're moving to Shark, and we're gonna try to make it as quick and as good as possible. Number 1 rule in racing is to never crash into your teammate. And sadly, that happened during safety car. Wasn't the best of scenarios, but you guys managed to gain a lot of track position back on the softs and hards. Sadly, wasn't enough, and yeah, explain why you lost pace towards the end there.
Well, it was a good start. I was doing well, and then that incident or safety car happened, and it kind of just threw our race up into shambles. Accidentally went to softs, but it was honestly a good move because it proved that I was carving through the field and I was doing well. And lesson learned: don't text while driving because I went off the track and lost 2 positions, 3
Why are you
positions.
texting while driving? That shouldn't be a lesson learned. That's against the law.
Not on the racetrack, so. Um,
I'm pretty sure it is.
anyways, so I went off the track. It was not bad from there, but yeah, there's a couple of people ahead of me and checked up at the hill, and I had no time to react, and I went right into them, and they got sent off. I got wing damage after one of them, and it just was unfortunate. From there, I was just kind of just nursing the car home, and I was dropping like a fly. So
Well, it didn't look like the greatest of outcomes from what you guys qualified, and yeah, your teammate, though, Dixie, my old teammate, managed to bring home some good points in P5. But of course, you guys would have wanted for at least a double podium, or at least a 1-2, you know. But yeah, lesson learned. Moving on to next race. Well, how do you fare in next race? You think? It's
just
Baku.
gonna see how it goes. I'm not the greatest at the track, but you know, there's always room for improvement, so we'll see. Yeah.
Well done. James, anything to add?
I don't think so, no.
All right. Well, thank you for joining the commentary box, and hopefully you get a better result next week. Of course, you should be up there with Resser, as we saw in Bahrain. So, fingers crossed, it will be better.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Moving on to the last 3. I think it's only fair to get Lars in. Lars Boyo. Not
Yes.
the greatest of races. Was an okay qualifying. You were up there in the midfield, but sadly that just didn't translate well into the race pace eventually. Walk me through your race.
One big mess, to be quite honest. First start, just try to keep my nose clean, and suddenly everything's blowing up around me, including my front wing. And then on the second one, tires got up really quickly, felt really good for about 5 laps, and then I don't know what it is with this setup sort of thing. I don't know what way they work on this year's game, clearly, because they just died. The rears constantly sliding everywhere. I've looked on the stats. They weren't overheating particularly. All the tires were green, but the wear on the rears was, I think the fronts were on about 20%, and the rears were going up towards, 35, near 40 somehow. So I have no idea quite how that works, to be honest. So honestly, half the time in that race, it felt like I was driving a rally car. It's actually a miracle I didn't spin, to be quite honest, because I was just constantly having to catch slides, constantly having to back out of corners. And then towards the end, we had the virtual safety car.
Yeah.
Which, again, didn't make any sense to me because as it was ending, I was coming up to the penultimate corner. I was half a second inside the delta. And as I'm braking, I'm not even accelerating at this point, I'm braking for the corner. My delta shoots down to minus 0.2. So I somehow gained 7/10 of my delta in about a second, if that, half a second. And the game then just gives me a drive-through. So thanks for that, F1. But I don't even know if this is going to count because I've now been told apparently track limits were off.
I can tell you from now, like compared to the issues we had before, track limits. I mean, from what we saw on stream, everyone did, keep themselves within the track, or at least try to.
Yeah, that's not what I've heard in the paddock. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll look over it.
Lots of people saying they went wide and were going wide at Aqua Minerale and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the FIA's call, but
we'll have a look into it.
Yeah.
I will have a personal hand in that investigation. Do not worry, my good friend.
Just trying to figure out, me and TC, what exactly we're doing wrong with the setup, because we're confident with the cars. You know, they do feel nice at the start, and then, but literally, I don't know if it's just the way the tires are on this year's game, but literally, no matter the compound, 5 to 7 laps, and they just hit a cliff. They die, especially the rears.
I think you
So-
guys need some hands-on coaching by Mr. Rick himself here, like the majority of the drivers in Challenge. No, I'm joking, but I'll from a personal point of view, of course, like it's sad to see it down there. So I will try to help you guys up again because I know you guys got pace. So yeah, it's just a matter to make that a reality in the league races. Either way, next race in Baku, you haven't been having a good time in Baku in recent seasons. Do you think this one will be any different?
The science says no, to be honest. The way the patterns sort of gone. I mean, we'll keep on going. It's, you know, you gotta try, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It is still a long season, but only taking, assuming this one goes through, 3 points from 2 races is, well, or hang on, what was it? No, yeah, it was P9. So yeah, 3 points from 2 races is not the tally you want to be having, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining the commentary box, and hopefully a better result for you and TC next race. Fingers crossed, and I will be looking closely to that one. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Right, like I said, we're trying to make it as quick and sweet as possible. So next time out, I think, is Rohi, because he actually finished the race, if I'm not wrong. Did he finish the race?
It was only P2.
Oh yeah, he did.
No?
I
Yeah.
completely forgot. My bad. Rohi in the Ferrari driving around Italy, and you're getting P2 as well for good measure from P6. What about that? Walk me through your race if you can.
I mean, it was a good race, but I just had a bad quali that put me in a lot of traffic. And I mean, if I didn't have the bad quali, I think I could go to the gap closer to P1. But P2 is not bad.
P2 is not bad at all.
Round DNF.
Yeah, I mean, you fared quite well here in your quote-unquote home race. I don't know where you are. I think you're from the Netherlands, if I'm not correct. But
I'm from Iran.
Oh, yeah, okay. My bad. But you did manage to bring home a good result for Ferrari, unlike real life. And, you did work yourself up there. And do you think that you will be having the same sort of result next week in Baku?
Hopefully, but Baku's just got so much difficult in this year's game because of the tire wear and the brake bias. It's just, but I think I'm gonna have the pace, but it just depends on what the P1 guy has.
Yeah, Resser is absolutely rapid. But I won't hold you on too much longer. You have champagne to drink. You did bring home a good result for Ferrari, so I think you are somewhere in the top 5 in the driver standings. Our system is kind of broken at the moment, but we are fixing it as we speak. Well, Rocco is at least. Hopefully you carry on the great pace you showed us today onto Baku, and fingers crossed you get a great result as well on top of that. James, anything to add?
Oh, nope.
Absolutely nothing. Well, Rohi, thank you for joining the commentary box, and we might work with you in the future as previously discussed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Thank you for joining, and good luck next week. Bye bye.
Good luck.
No worries. Good luck.
All right, last one to join. They called themselves stupid in the Aqua Minerale, and we're moving to Myla. Myla, not the greatest of races. You did join late, but thankfully we had a red flag, so you could quickly jump into your car, pick a whatever setup, and just try to get the most of it. But sadly, that just didn't come into fruition, and you DNF in Aqua Minerale and echoed the iconic words of Charles Leclerc in Baku. I am stupid. I am stupid. Walk me through your race.
Yeah, I hopped in with minimal training, with minimal practice, so I didn't expect a lot. It's a start for the season. Next race will be better. Baku isn't one of my strongest circuits, but it's better than Imola. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that you will be carrying that pace, because I know that from previous seasons that you did race with us back in F1 2021, you did carry some good pace, and actually, if you remember, you actually gained some time on no fail, and of course, no fail is now challenging for wins. So who says that you can't?
Yeah.
Just need to translate that to the race, and of course, not the greatest of starts, but that's still some intel and data to collect for the next couple of races on how the car behaves and what to look out for.
Yeah. I mean, the setup was pretty bad. I understeered so much that I overcompensated for understeer and then oversteered into the corner.
Sounds like the Ferrari that Alonso had to drive.
Yes, the 2014 Ferrari.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Ergo, do you got any questions?
I don't think so. No.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you for joining the commentary box, and fingers crossed you will finish in the points next time out. You definitely got the pace for it. Just a matter of translating it.
Yes.
All right. Goodbye, and thank you for joining the commentary box.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everyone that we had to commentate. Those who showed up for waiting for interviews. But of course, FIA is going to do some work. Final classifications will come in a day or so, and we'll know the full result of the race. Nofel might even get promoted to the podium. So as Dixie. We'll have to see. James, been an absolute pleasure working with you.
Yeah, very, very nice commentating there.
I mean, I know that my voice is gonna be dead tomorrow. I've been screaming so much.
You did lose it at the end there.
Yeah, no, but absolutely fun racing that we saw today, and hopefully we'll see each other later on next week. Baku.
Yeah.
More safety cars. But yeah, thank you for joining us, and of course, if you want to see our social medias, they are down in the descriptions, and you will see highlights and whatnot that Katas will be working with. And Rocco, you're still in this VC. You want to say something? Closing words?
I fixed the thing for the standings.
He fixed
That's what
the
I've been doing all
thing.
time.
He fixed the thing. He fixed the thing. The standings are fixed, and now we can get to work with it.
Reserve P1.
Reserve P1. Right. Thank you for joining the commentary box, and as always, there will be a stream tomorrow. Lars will be commentating alongside Thomas D or Casido, depending on who he wants to commentate with. And it will be Pro Series. And once again, you're going to see James in P18 and me in P13. Rocco up in P10. And yeah, hopefully, good day for McLaren, bad day for the Mercedes drivers. Well, that is all for